Hi, this is Apex IFSA CEO Dr. Joe Leader. Today I'm here at the Apex EXPO stand of Airbus, and I'm honored to be joined by Airbus Chief Marketing Officer Stan Shparberg. Stan, thank you so much for taking the time with
Joe.
me today.
Really appreciate you having me here.
Let's ask the question that every one of our airlines and their customers want answered. We all desperately need as many new aircraft as possible for more fuel efficiency, for better service. I know right now, airlines, as they talk with me, from both Airbus and from Boeing, there's a desire for more aircraft immediately. What are you doing to address that in the supply chain issues that have haunted our entire industry?
No, you're absolutely right, Joe. I think the biggest purpose that we have is to pioneer sustainable aviation for a better and united world. And clearly, one of the things to address that is to change the fleets, because today only 20% of the existing fleet is the new generation aircraft, which brings 20 to 25% additional fuel efficiency. So whether it's us or our competitors, now the goal is to really get the supply chain back up and running. Because during COVID, in our industry have never been hit that badly. So when we're talking about tier 1, tier 2 suppliers, clearly those guys have been able to weather the storm, but when we're starting to dig deeper, that's where it becomes difficult. And so what we're doing now is obviously looking at three challenges. One is getting back the employees, whether it's the white collar employees, the blue collars. We were a little bit luckier in Europe because we obviously had support from the governments with the partial employment schemes and things like that. So we've been able to retain quite a bit more people on board. Second element is supply chain. And as I mentioned, it's parts, there's a lot of geopolitical tensions at the moment which are not helping. But that's something that we're addressing with our suppliers, and what we're doing that's been different to the past is we're going very much all the way down through our supply chain, down to the tier 3, tier 4 suppliers, to make sure that we can support them and provide them the guidance and the help that's needed to get things back up and running.
It's well said. As you look towards the geopolitical tensions and the range of aircraft that is needed now that we have certain areas of the world that we cannot fly over, that brings us to the movement in the 350 program. Tell me how you're advancing that program, because I know that's an aircraft that many airlines want immediately to help them with that crisis.
No, absolutely. I think the whole situation with overflying large areas of the world that's not allowed anymore or not available anymore to some of our customers has created real issues. For some of our customers, you have to overfly 3 hours. It's a 3-hour extra flying that you have to do for certain routes. Of course, with the 350, that's already been a range leader, and we've been very proud to hold that title. But what we've recently done, we've upgraded our 350 with a standard 2022, as we call it. We've basically, it lost a bit of weight, almost 3 tons. We've been able to make it wider, so you can potentially seat more people in it. And we've also looked at the customer experience, and that's what Apex is all about, customer experience, passenger experience. So we were able to add up to 6 more trolleys in the galleys to allow a much better service. So I guess with those improvements, we're able to get back into the profitability situation with most of our operators, or the airlines, with the 350 that are flying those difficult routes, the one where you have to overfly large parts of land.
Well, on the 350, let's talk on a more positive note, since we have Alan Joyce and in working with his team. He's working on joining us at Apex EXPO next year.
Oh, great.
Project Sunrise is very important. That extended range, tell me, airlines are always wanting to max range and push the envelope. How close do you think we are to that being a reality?
Well, first of all, I was lucky enough to be in Australia with Alan earlier this year, where we've launched Project Sunrise. We brought the 350 to Australia. Great buzz, a lot of interest. People are really excited that all of a sudden you would be able to fly directly from Sydney, Melbourne, all the way to London and New York. Is it going to be a reality? We believe so. We've got the product that's going to do it. Obviously, we're going to have to change the way the layout is done, because you're going to be spending a lot of time on the plane. So we need to make sure, together with our airline customers, that the passengers are comfortable, they're happy, they have their wellness areas, they have the seat, configuration that allows them to withstand that flight. Is there a need for it? Yes. I think we see that a lot of people do not want to have, too many layovers, too many stops on their way. They want to get to their destination, get their business done, and come back.
That's the right way to do it, and they want to do it with comfort, and
Absolutely.
that leads to airspace. So tell me, what have you been sharing with airlines focused on their customers' well-being, the environment, and what you've been covering here at Apex Expo?
Yeah, well, the biggest challenge, I guess, that our customers are facing today is sustainability, and maybe more precisely decarbonization of our industry. We've set ourselves a goal to be, decarbonized by 2050, and that's going to be a pretty tough challenge for everyone.
Indeed.
It's also going to cost money to do that, right? Because you're talking about sustainable aviation fuel, you're talking about new airplanes, all of that assumes some level of cost. So we need to find a way to ease that journey of the airlines to get there. Well, there's a couple of elements. You probably need to earn more money. How do you earn more money? By improving passenger experience. People are prepared to pay when they see value in the product. So we need to make sure that we're working on improvement of the product, and obviously one of the areas that will allow us to improve the product and the whole experience of passengers is going to be digitalization. I personally believe we're on the verge of a revolution or evolution of our space where the passenger travel will be a lot more personalized. You will have services that have not been on the planes before, and clearly the level of personal touch that airlines would be able to apply through the digital platforms, and of course Airspace Link is one of those open platforms that we are planning to launch or launched already, is going to allow to have additional revenue streams for our customers, for airlines,
Yes.
to support the sustainability journey, and a much better customer experience for the passengers or the consumers of the airlines. So it's a win-win.
It is a win-win. And Stan, as you talk about Airspace Link, what do you see, since Apex Expo focuses on the future of our travel experience and the future of our industry? Tell me about the world that you see from an Airbus perspective for our airlines and for their customers 5 to 10 years from now.
Yeah, so one thing that always sort of bothers me, or I don't know if that's the right word, but when I see the valuation of Facebook today and Airbus, right? So Facebook is worth more than Airbus. Now, what Facebook does is they're able to guarantee that a person will be captive on the screen for 15 seconds and they know exactly who's behind that screen. Well, our airlines have people sitting in front of the screens for way more than 15 seconds, and they know exactly who's behind that screen. So there's an ability to monetize that space, to make it much more, as I said, personally driven, and have opportunities to have different revenue streams that are not going to be paid by the passengers, because we already, the ticket prices, as we know, that's always a difficult deal to have. We will be able to charge more potentially with airlines because of the better service, but not that much more. So what about you getting on board, being recognized as someone that flies frequently, that's someone that doesn't eat meat and likes gin and tonic, and by the way, those are the movies that you haven't finished last time, and then the advertising comes up that is exactly to your taste, or to what you potentially would prefer, instead of having a generic one-size-fits-all approach. So again, for me, it's a much more personalized travel experience that we're going to have. So it's almost having private jet experience on the commercial airlines. That is my 10 to 15 year dream vision that I'd love to see being accomplished in our industry.
I like that dream for everyone, and I like the fact that you're saying that Airbus and our airlines should be valued significantly more than Meta, because you have many more hours of people, their undivided attention, and I agree it's a great opportunity for industry. So Stan, with that outlook, thank you for taking the time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Joe. Really appreciate it. Cheers.